All right, we're at one of our most recent projects in City Place that we were blessed with the opportunity to do. I just want to show you guys some of the work that, Spectrum AC does, because, mercy and goodness follow us all the days of our lives. So we really try to make sure that all our work, goes with integrity, quality, and service. So if you look up, I know it's hard to see on some of the work that was done here, but all this is galvanized sheet metal ductwork. So, and it's wrapped with fiberglass. So every single 45 you see right here in transitions and 90s, like it takes a lot to really get into a job to make all those things, come out perfect and look really clean. Someone who's not, mechanically inclined isn't gonna understand and see like really what's going on here and how good this was, really done, because we take a lot of pride in all the work that we do. We make sure that, we built this company off of word of mouth. So, all the jobs that we do, even after this job, there's already been people across the street that came over here and seen the job that we did, and immediately they're already asking us to do their work, and that's because, it's word of mouth. We built the company from the ground up, and if you look up Spectrum AC, we have over 300 reviews, 5-star, and that's by doing clean work. You can see if you walk this way, you'll see this big unit we hung up. We actually did all the piping in here, all the water piping. So it's probably hard for you to tell, but all this white piping that's insulated nice and clean, and it goes down with all the valves, like that's actually copper that's under that had to be brazed, with a certain braze, because it's pressured water. So all that's in there, and then it's insulated real nice and clean with the insulation and all the valves and the thermostats, and you can see the unit was hung perfect. And all this ductwork, if you stare right here, you see this ductwork come up with that perfect transition up here, and then it transitions here, and then it 45s. Like the math that it takes to do that kind of work, because you gotta see, you're looking at fiberglass that's wrapped around the metal duct, but that's actually sheet metal that's under there. So to make that turn into a perfect 45 that hugs that metal perfect, that took a lot of time and a lot of precision to do that. And then as you come this way, you can see all this piping. Like if you look real close, the way our guys hung all the piping, if you see that piece of metal that's under there hang, like, a lot of eyes wouldn't look at that and understand exactly what they're seeing, but the integrity and the craftsmanship that it takes to make those perfect 90s and to get that hung perfect is like, it's big time. And and that's what we strive for at Spectrum AC, man. That's anything we do at all times, whether it's a small job, whether it's a big job, we always take them the same way. It doesn't matter. We take a lot of pride in what we do. All our guys are extremely, extremely highly trained. And as obviously, actions speak louder than its words. Again, I'm not trying to sound cocky, it's just confidence. We're the best there is in the business, as our work shows. See all this metal ductwork that's perfect, all this fresh air that's perfect. And just the way the unit's hung perfect. And if you can see, we were put into a really tight spot. It's a super, super tight spot. But you know what? Spectrum AC likes being in tight spots because we always come out on top. We like that kind of stuff. Any kind of job that's gonna give us, a chance to show our skills, we do. All this work, because this is such a super, super, super tight spot. And all this ductwork, like I said, if you look, it's wrapped with sheet metal, but all the transitions, all the 45s, all the 90s are like perfect, because you can see everything has to be pristine, everything has to be perfect, because drywall has to go up. So every turn, if you're off by 1/4 of an inch, you could ruin the whole job. So like we really got this down perfect, and we take our time and everything. And like I said, our guys are super highly trained. I wish we could go back, and because this is a super big job. This is actually a 10-ton unit water source heat pump. So on the top, there's a huge chiller that's running these. So there's a couple of these. So these are real big units. So these alone had to be completely broken apart in piece and then brought up there and then rebuilt. So we took these completely apart and then rebuilt the air handler up there. So like just the mechanics that it takes alone to take apart a 10-ton unit and then rebuild it and bring it up and then hang it perfectly is like, phenomenal. So, not only am I speaking highly of my guys, it's great to come here and see this. And like I said, I'll repeat it over and over. Big, small, little job, it doesn't even matter. We do the same work everywhere. I don't care if it's to go to a person's house and blow a drain line. We take a lot of integrity in what we do, as you can see. And again, all this ductwork is just perfect. But with this job, just this job alone, this is on CityPlace. I mean, that's a big deal to be in the middle of CityPlace and to be, you know, contracted on this job. And there's been many contractors, because there's so much construction that's going on here. They're all coming here and they're looking at this job and they said, hey, who's Spectrum AC? And we gave them a number, and already from this job, we're already bidding like another 10 projects just because of the work and the craftsmanship that was on this job.